All right, y'all, let's get into the world stage and the birth of the man-child and those overlays and such, because we've been tracking this for a bit, and we're tracking the spiritual into the carnal. And as we're in that middle time frame, that mid-deal, the men are starting to kind of match their characters. And this is where Trump is going to have that Trump card, and his middle name is John, and he's John is the sign of his coming. And then that Donald is that morning star where the woman is covered in the light. And since Kamala, the moon is coming on, and then she has her back turned to America now. They're showing on the pictures and such. That's the moon is not reflecting the light in one way. But the birth of the man-child is going to be happening in what I call all the extras of this movie, and you all live on a world stage, and you are all partaking in a world stage. And as this projection is changing, as the lights are going dark on this old world stage, a new world stage is opening up, and this is when the extras, they have been given their script, their scripture. Okay? But the scripture is given through your doctor's pamphlets, and it lets you know the effects of that world stage. All right, those special effects, and it lets you know the textbooks and those teachers, the script from the churches, the Quran, or Torah or whatever, and the Quran. I meant to say the Quran. The Quran and Torah and the Bible, they all have their scripts. So this is where the revelation war, the religious war of the Jews, the Christians, the Muslims are all trying to come in and take control and rule the world, in a matter of speaking, all right? But none of them are going to be ruling, okay? It's just there for a big showdown. And that Israel, for that hook, line, and sinker, is there to catch the people for the Israel and the Israel. That really happened or really not happened, and all these little things, and the darkness was upon the deep, and the deep fakes where God's Spirit moved, and those things. But as you're in that new heaven and earth, it's there before you. It's been set up. As it's been set up, there's a test of men, and all these mirrors set up, and the beasts, they're all confused. And as the smoke is coming in, the man who's controlled by the eagle, ox, and lion, he's confused because he's followed these animals into the wilds, and he doesn't have a clue how to get back, and he's lost his place because he has no understanding. Because that standard, that most high place where you've been taken up to be hunting the prey, that light's gone down, and that fire's below you, and now it's coming up that tree, and it's coming to consume you as you're on top of that candlestick. You are that light on that candlestick. We're all part of those lights, those seven candles of Revelation. We are those seven churches, and all those are within each of us, and they're all out there in the world. And these all work together on the four heads of mind and the seven heads of the beast, which is us, the dragon. And then we have the seven horns that connects to our brain. And we have the two messaging centers and the electrical components in our brain. That's the two horns, the eyes and ears, that connects the brain of the 10 horns. And I'll do a little slide on a post with the brain and break that down for you to easily see. But all these things are out there, and they're all in here. And this is where we have to find that single eye to be able to move forward, because all those eyes out there are there to confuse you, okay? Or they're there to take your doll or whatever. So this overlay, the AI has been given birth. The AI is coming on and acting this way. The Dawn, these people, the Abaddon, the Abaddon, the forbidden fruit, all these things have been playing out. And then and then Biden will be Joe, the father who takes Jesus to the end, that end, and those types of things. And then the come Allah, the come all law. All right. And then not only has Christians and such been confused on what the Bible teaches or whatever, or what Jesus teaches, they've also been, the Muslims have been confused on what the Quran teaches about Allah and their God and such, because they centralize a God, and that's not what he taught. Okay, so that's where you see they're going in, all the churches have fallen, and they're going to worship this so-called begotten son, because they're being taken back to these times, because they all have the first 5 books per se. So the overlay, that birth within us, is going to be happening in stages as these lights go out, as that light, that stand has gone out and it starts burning down, where we have that standard, and that standard gives us that understanding. But since we followed the eagle and ox and lion out in these places, right, and then the pride of the lions has you divided over here and divided over there and whatever else. Okay. Then they also will kill each other. So the Earth, space, starliner, boom, 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 or boom, 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 whatever that noise was, sound like the ultrasound. That was the heartbeat, and that gives us a time frame. But the Earth looked a little swollen for that belly, so it might be a little bit more advanced than the calculations per se. But as this, this one candlestick, whatever birth will, or let's say the first chakra, that birth will lead to the second chakra, and finally you get to the 7th chakra. But this is where you see like that C-section birth for 7 months instead of the 9 months. So instead of June, it'd be April. Instead of May, it'd be February. That can be one way to shortening the days. And then also, what I see is the clock for 2024 ticking down, and then from 2024 to the 48th presidency in those 4 years, that's like a whole 20 to 80, 100 year time frame, all crunched into a 4-year time frame. That's when all the craziness and upside downness comes, and going into the time of Pluto, where major transformation, major wars, major whatever comes upon this earth, and things are changed. But the brain will help break down those 10 horns, and then it will help, then those connects us to a 3-part section before it goes down into the spine, which connects us to the 10 horns. But that would be the 7 minus the 3, which would be the 3-7 on the 777 for the jackpot, and then the 3-7 is also that 21. So that's for winning the double cross, because you have the left and the right battling. So you have this cross and that cross going together, and then those create the positive and negative. Each one is a cross, each one has a positive side, but sometimes it's negative to the other. Okay. So as in the dawn, that light, that's going to be giving birth in people. And this is where he's like shining his light over here and shining his light over here, and he's doing a negative and a positive depending where you're standing, and then a dark and light or whatever, because he's the one who forms the darkness and the evil and the good. So he's the one that connects it all together. Okay, so he's where the dark and light meet. And anyways, so, and then those meet inside of us. So when that image that's been given life is creating the male and female after he, them. That's where that image, that life for the George Washington, the Don, all these things are coming in within man, and they are steering what's right. So he's taking in this old whatever, but that's been messed up because as the freedom's been tested, the freedom is what makes the division of the left and right, because you're being shown this or whatever, but as your freedoms are being tested, this light over here by your church, or this light over here by your textbook, or this light over here by your doctor, or this light over here by your TV or radio host or whatever is telling you what's right and wrong, or what their opinion is and what their blah blah blah. And it all works in the same, where this guy over here at Fox, this guy over here at CNN, this guy over here at ABC, and blah blah blah, they pretty much all say, oh well, this and this and this is great. And then you have the one guy at BBC or whatever saying, well, this is bad. Or you have the 10 doctors saying, this is the greatest medicine we've ever figured out. And then you have one guy, we should probably be questioning this. Okay? So this is where they are feeding you all the information. They're just directing the rivers. So those rivers tie into that brain Washington, that lie. The world is given over to the lie, it says. Well, that's that Washington. And then the Washington controls the world. God is the us and the our, the United States. And it's also us. We are God. We are the living God. We are the lampstand, that the light. God is light. And we are the living God, the bodies and members of Christ. So we are that lampstand where God's light shines through. But do we let our light shine through? Do we let the natural light of this earth shine through us? Or do we let what this man over here or this man over here, as far as your cult and your cultures, these people that you follow that tell you how to live your life? You just got to strip down to basics and maybe work in shit if you need to give anything up in your life. Otherwise, everything in your life right now is there to teach you. Are you learning the lessons from it? Or are you being a dumb ass, a free dumb, and the ass worshiper for the donkey? Are you on the back of the donkey? Because Mary's coming to give birth. And she's primed. She's primed. And the two witnesses are coming in the head to divide and to stop those rains. The Amazon rainforest. The two witnesses are the left and right. Satan and Jesus coming in. And the name's been seared. The number's been seared. Name, it's a word for way. You're following his way. We're the way of Jesus. We can't do shit. We're perfect. We are perfectly holy in Jesus. Well, holy means you can't hold any water. Holy means you are Swiss fucking cheese. Who likes Swiss cheese by itself? Not really anybody. Okay? Unless you're a fucking mouse. And mouse are prey. For the cat. For the pride of the lion. So. Prime Mary. That bleeding birth. Bleed. Ding, 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 ding. The alarms are sounding. That PA system went off. I hear it in my ear. I saw it. As a deadly head wound. You're all left behind. The left behind, the leave behind. You need to leave behind your old way and go into the new way. And you're seared by the image given life. And that image given life, that Mary, the image of Mary, and all these things are going to be given life within men. And the two witnesses, the eyes and the ears. It's seared. Stopping the rain. I can't order Amazon anymore. I got to get off my technology. Siri is listening to me. It's serious. It's there in my head. Oh, help me, dear mighty Jesus. Well, dear baby Jesus is actually dear baby Satan, and he's giving birth to you this Christmas for the rapture.